Right, so we're going to start in a kneeling position today. So starting kneeling and just sitting back onto the heels. You might want to move those yummy, lovely, fleshy bits out of the way so that you can sit really nice and firmly down. And we're just going to take a couple of big shoulder rolls back. So just really stretching out the shoulders. That's it. Good. And then we're going to rest the hands on top of each other, usually the right on top of the left, just into the lap, and just relax the shoulders here. Naturally, we might want to start tensing and bringing the ears up to the shoulders. So just notice if you're tending to do that and any tension there. We're going to just close off the eyes for a few moments, just to start the practice with some peace and quiet. So closing off the eyes, just taking a moment to look within, notice how you feel today. Notice any sounds around you, any distractions, allowing them to be there and be a part of your practice and your experience. And we're going to set an intention for whatever you want out of this practice today, whether that's just to be present, or whether that's to do your best, even if your best isn't the best. Whether it's to refocus on your breathing, whatever it is today, make it sincere. Just relaxing through the facial features. Maybe bringing a hint of a smile to the face or to the mouth, to the corners of the eyes. Just notice how that feels, whether it's nice and easy today or maybe a little bit more difficult. Okay, we're going to take some deep breaths here. So breathing in through the nose. Big sighs out through the mouth. Notice those shoulders relax a little bit. Even myself, I can notice that they're tensing. Breathing in through the nose. Big sighs out. Let the shoulders melt away. A couple more. Breathing in. Last one. Breathing in. Good. Okay. We're going to gently allow the chin to dip all the way down to the chest, feeling maybe a little stretch on the back of the neck. Again, keep those shoulders relaxed. Take the right ear over to the right shoulder. Keep those shoulders nice and smooth. Chin back down to the chest and then over to the left. And we're just going to move round to the right again. So just really mindfully filling out all the muscles in the back of the neck. Moving side to side. Good, a couple more rounds. Good. Okay, and then bringing the chin parallel to the ground again. And we're going to gently look up, giving the front of the neck a little stretch. Breathing easy here. A couple of big sighs. One more. Good. Okay, and then chin parallel to the ground again. Lovely. Okay, let's take a little side stretch. So we're going to take the right hand down to the ground. Let's inhale, take the left arm up and over, leaning over, trying not to flare the ribs forward, so trying to keep them tucked in. If you want to, if it's comfortable on the neck, you can take the gaze up. And with this right shoulder, try not to hunch that, so you can really push that down away from the ear. Maybe slide the right arm out a little bit more. Feeling a deep stretch all the way around the side of the left side body. Back to center. Let's do the same on the other side. Inhale over to the left. Keep those rib cages drawn in. Good. Keep that left shoulder pressing down away from the ears so that we're not hunching, and just relaxing here. Getting the most out of this side stretch. And then back down to the center. Okay, coming now onto the knees. We're going to come into an extended puffy pose, one of my favorites. Really nice for warming up around the shoulders and all of the upper body, really. So the knees hip width apart. Let's stretch the arms forward, really reaching forward and bringing the chest as close to the ground, if not touching the ground, as we can. If that's a little bit too much and you feel like you've not got much space there, you can bring the hands onto the fingertips and then relaxing the body down. You'll feel like the bum's pointing up in the air a little bit, which is correct. That's how we should feel. You can relax the forehead down onto the ground. If you want here, I think it's quite nice to bring a little bit of prana, a bit of energy flow here. Just giving a little wag of the tail, the bum side to side. Just notice what that does around the shoulders. Maybe you begin to feel some stretching around the side bodies. Keep the forehead and the head relaxed. Breathe with it. Inhaling, side, exhale, other side. This is a really nice way to bring yourself into the present moment. Gently moving the body. A couple more breaths. Good. Okay, release the hands down. And we're going to just bring those hands into the body and coming back into a tabletop position. Okay, we're going to move into some cat-cows. So just again, warming up the body a little bit more here, pushing the shoulders back and down to start so that we're not starting hunching in the shoulders. Okay, so we're going to inhale and drop the belly, looking forward and up. Exhale, rounding. Good, your pace. Moving forwards and backwards. Good. You can be as slow with this movement or as fast as you need to. Good, couple more. Good. Okay, and finding neutral position again. We're going to come into a little arm balancing pose. So taking the right arm forwards, keeping the neck nice and long, so looking down, not forwards, otherwise we start to strain the neck. So looking down, and we're going to take the left foot behind. So we're in a bit of a balance here. Point the toes behind you. Engage the core. Try not to be arching in the back here, so you can engage the core to keep the spine nice and long. If you want a bit more of a challenge, you can bend that back leg and see if you can grab hold of it with the right hand and maybe come into a bit more of a deeper balance here, but only if the former was a little bit easier for you. So just seeing what feels good for you. Breathing here, holding wherever you are. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Gently release. Let's have another little wag of the tail side to side, just feeling that out. Always feels really nice to just hover one side and then over to the other side. Okay, let's do the same thing now. Taking the left arm forward, keep that neck nice and long. Take the right leg behind. So the body's in a nice long line. And if you want that extra challenge, again, you can bend that right leg, grabbing hold of the ankle or the foot with the left hand. Whatever feels good for you, there's no right or wrong. And if you have a little wobble wherever you are, that's fine. Just pick yourself back up, recenter. Breathe, remember to breathe here. We can hold our breath here. And gently release. Okay, again, little wag of the tail side to side. We're starting nice and strong today. Okay, so we're going to curl the toes under behind if that's comfortable for you. Coming into a little toe cruncher. Always like to stretch out the feet in every practice. Shoulders back. We can have the palms resting into the lap, right on top of left. Relax those shoulders. Close off the eyes. We're just going to take a couple of breaths here. Unless that's too painful for you on the feet, bring the hands down to the ground just to ease off a little bit of the weight there. Again, maybe bringing a hint of a smile to the face, see how that feels today. Deep breaths. You might notice your heart rate's already up. Good. Okay, let's gently release. We can take a couple of ankle rotations here if that's okay for your ankles. Mindful if there's any recent injuries there doing this. And then reversing those circles back the other way. Okay, so we're going to move into our first downward facing dog. So we can make sure that with the hands, we're spreading the fingers nice and wide. We've got the index fingers pointing to the top of the mat. And we're just gripping the mat with the fingertips. So the knuckles are actually lifting off the ground a little bit here. And that way we're protecting our wrists. Okay, lift the knees off the ground, send the hips back, straighten the arms. We can keep a bend in the knees to start. When we're happy with our upper body, then we can straighten the legs and begin pedaling out the legs side to side. Breathing with it. Deep breaths. Couple more breaths. Good. Okay. So we're going to bring the right foot forward between the hands. And we're going to drop the back knee down. So we're going to be here in a little low lunge. We can release the foot behind. Just check behind, take a little look behind that the foot is in line with the calf. Sometimes they want to splay out and go in all sorts of directions. So keep the foot in line with the calf. And the front knee is over the ankle, not past it. Okay, let's inhale, take the arms up. Nice and straight arms. Try not to flare the ribs too forward. Hold it here, breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to take a little twist round to the right. So the left hand's going to come on the outside edge of the right knee. The right hand is behind us on the back leg. So a little gentle twist. If that's too much of a twist, with the right hand, you can take that on the lower back. And just look behind you at the back corner of the mat, the back right-hand corner of the mat. Relax the hips. Breathe. We're stretching and strengthening here. You might notice that front quad muscles are really doing a bit of overtime here. Good. Place the hands down, framing the foot. And we're going to, this time, walk the right foot out to the outside edge of the mat. We're going to try a lizard's pose here. Really good hip opening pose. So I've got my right foot on the edge of the mat. The hand comes on the inner side of the leg. And if you want to, if you feel really comfortable here, you might be able to come down onto the forearms. You might not. So wherever you are, just feeling that stretch. Maybe you need to use the hands to keep you nice and grounded. Or maybe you can come all the way down into full lizards. Whatever you are, wherever you are is where you should be. Listen to your body. Maybe wherever you are, you can use the right hand onto the right knee. Keeping the foot firmly placed down, just push open that knee so that you can find a little extra space in the hips. Looking good. Nice. Keep the shoulders pressing down away from the ears so that we're not hunching in the shoulders. Hold it here for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Bring the knee back into the body. Come up onto the hands. We're just going to heel toe that foot back into the center. And then we're going to send it back. We're going to take a little passive child's pose. So knees together, send the hips backwards, rest the forehead down. You'll notice the counter on the hips, the counter pose from that on the hips that we've just done there. Rest the hands by the side of the legs, relax the shoulders. With the forehead on the ground, allow the forehead to just crease towards the nose so that you notice there's no strain or tension in the forehead. Release the jaw, let the teeth sit really naturally. Knowing that your face, if you were to look in a mirror right now, would be a little bit funny, but you know what? It's all about being comfortable in our own skin. Notice your breathing, just tuning back in, listening to your breath. Notice if your breathing rate is shallow or deep. Good. Okay, we're going to gently and slowly peel it up, unfolding the body, coming up to seated. Bringing the back up, the head up last, so that the chin is parallel to the ground. Okay, we're going to walk the hands forward and do the same thing on the other side. So hands forward in our tabletop position, curl the toes under behind, sending it back to downward facing dog. So lifting the knees, sending the hips back, getting the upper body in that good form, and then pedaling out the legs, taking some deep breaths. Good. Close off the eyes if you want to. If you feel the mind is a little bit racy today, a little bit not on the focus on the present moment. Close off the eyes. Good. Okay, we're going to bring the left foot forward between the hands this time. Drop the right knee down. Release the back foot. And again, just take a little glance behind, just making sure that that foot is in line with the calf. Good. Okay. So making sure the front knee is over the ankle. Okay, let's inhale and raise the arms up in a nice straight line, not flaring out the ribs, not hunching in the shoulders as well. Pressing the shoulders down, but still reaching the arms up. Hold it here for 1, 2, relax the hips, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to take a little twist now round to the left. The right hand is coming out the outside of that left foot, and the back hand can either be rested on the leg or onto the lower back, whatever feels good for you. Good. Hold here. Keep your balance, keep your focus, close the eyes if that's comfortable. Notice you'll be a little bit more wobbly. Good. Gently release the hands down. We're going to come into that lizard's pose again, so taking the left foot on the outside edge of the mat. You can either drop the forearms down if that's comfortable, or maybe you need to stay up onto the hands. So wherever you are, just relaxing there. Holding it here. Breathing deep in through the nose. Maybe out through the nose or out through the mouth if you need to exert any energy. Okay, we're going to take the left hand onto the left knee now. Again, making sure that we're not punching in the shoulders, keeping the left foot pressing down on the ground fully. And then we can open that out to the side. Really opening out through the hips. Breathing here, holding for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Good. Gently come up onto the hands. Heel toe the foot into the center. And we're going to push it back again to, this time, an active child's pose. So knees nice and wide to the width of the mat. Send the hips back and reach the arms forward. Keeping the bum and the heels connected if they can connect with each other. Keep stretching those arms forward, 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 but relaxing the head. Notice that stretch around the side bodies, around the ribs. Good. Okay, staying where we are here in the right arm, but we're going to thread the left hand underneath the right hand. So underneath the right arm into a little thread the needle here. And we can allow the palm to face up. So the left hand has gone underneath the right arm. We're relaxing the head onto the left side of the face. Keep reaching that right arm forward though. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Notice what that breath does to the stretch. Good. Keeping the left arm underneath. We're going to take the right arm, the one that was stretched out in front, up above the head in a straight line. And this is a little strengthening for the arm. Feel the burn already. Staying with it. Holding it up. Keep stretching those fingers up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to this time relax that right arm onto the lower back. Maybe you can even reach round and feel the left thigh with the right hand. I know it gets a little bit confusing with the left and right for me anyway, and the camera mirroring it. So with the right arm either on the lower back or reaching round to grab hold of the left thigh, try and just open out that right shoulder up to the sky a little bit. So we're opening the chest, allowing the chest a little bit of space here. I know for me personally this is really tricky because I've got very tight shoulders. So if you, like me, have tight shoulders, you'll really feel this deep in the shoulder joint. Good. Okay. Taking the right arm out in front, reaching forward with the right arm. Unthread that left hand, so taking the left hand out in front as well. Reaching the arms forward. Seeing if you can reach the chest down onto the ground now in child's pose. Maybe we're not quite there yet. Relax the forehead. Good. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm just going to move over a little bit so that I don't put my arm too close to the TV stand. Okay, so from child's pose, we're going to take that right arm, threading that underneath the left arm. Palm facing up, the face is down on the right side of the face, resting on the ground. Taking a couple of deep breaths here. Good. Okay, we're going to take the left arm up now behind in a straight line. Again, this strengthening for the arms. Holding it here, keep stretching through the fingers, active through the fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then resting that the left hand onto the lower back, or maybe grabbing hold of the right thigh with the left hand. Open out the chest here, open up the left shoulder, looking up to the sky. And again, if you like me, tighten the shoulders, you'll feel that really deep in the left shoulder joint. Okay, take a couple of deep breaths here. Good, okay. Reach the right arm out in front, the left arm out in front, and we're back into our extended child's pose. Just relax the forehead down on the ground for a moment. Good. Okay, pushing back into our tabletop position. Okay, so from here, I'm going to come into half split, which is not as scary as it sounds. So we're going to take the right foot forward between the hands, and we're going to send the hips back. So we want the hips to be over the knees here. So I sometimes need to walk that right foot forward a little bit more. And then we're going to lift up the toes so that we're flexing through that right foot. If you do have blocks or you have something you need to rest on, if you feel that the hamstrings are too tight to be down on the ground, for the hands to be down on the ground, and grab something. If not, you can bring a little bend to the knee as well. Okay, so we're going to take a big inhale here. And then exhale, folding forward, trying not to round the back here. So keeping the back really nice and long. It's also nice to have the tummy connecting with the thigh. Good, inhale, coming up slightly, easing out of the pose. Exhale, coming in, finding a little bit extra space this time. Keeping the neck nice and long. One more, inhale, rising up. Exhale, release, keep that right foot nice and flexed. Reaching the head down towards the shin. Okay, moving forward. So we're going to push forwards into that low lunge position again. Just check the knee is over the ankle again. Okay, and we're going to curl the toe under behind. So the left foot, we've got the toes curled under. I'm going to take a little flying position here. So straighten that back leg and bring the hands together. So again, another good strengthening exercise. Okay, really nice and strong in the legs. You'll feel it like I do, maybe around the legs, the glutes, the quad on the back legs. Keep the palms together. We're going to hold it here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Take the hands down to the ground, release the knees. Come back to our tabletop position and just have a little wag of the tail side to side. Good. Okay. Lovely. Right, we're going to come into that half split on the other side now, the left side. So we're going to take the left foot forward between the hands. Okay. And then send the hips back, checking that we've got the hips over the knees. And if you need to, walking that left foot forward a little bit more and then flexing the foot towards us. Okay, so taking a big breath in. And then exhale, keeping the upper body nice and long. We're not rounding, we're not trying to get the head onto the knee. Good. Just feeling the fleshy bit on the left hamstrings, getting really good stretch. Inhale, come up. Release from the pose slightly. Exhale, find a bit more depth. Good. Fully exhale, finding a little bit more. One more time, inhale, rising up. And then exhale, last time, really trying to get that extra depth in there. And everything you can out of that stretch. Good. Release the foot down. Okay, we're back into that low lunge position. Check that the left knee is over the ankle. We're making sure we've got really good form here. Curl the back toes under behind of the right foot. And we're going to lift and straighten that back leg, resting the body onto that left leg. Palms together. Good strengthening for the legs. Hold it here for 1, 2. If you want to, you can bring the arms out to the side. I've got a TV that I'll end up punching, so I won't, but feel free. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Release the hands. We're going to walk the hands to the center of the mat, and we're going to just pivot the feet so that we're coming into a wide-legged forward fold here. Prasarita Padottanasana. So with the feet parallel to each other, you can bring a bend to the knees if you can't quite reach the floor. Okay, we're going to half lift, so coming up onto the fingertips. We've got the back really nice and straight here, and we've got the weight forward into the toes. Inhale, and then exhale, folding forward, folding at the hip joint, not rounding the back. So if the head doesn't quite reach the floor, don't worry. Good. Inhale, half lift, coming up onto the fingertips. Exhale, release. And again, inhale, half lift. Neck nice and long. Exhale, fold. Good. We're going to walk the hands out to the sides now. Maybe you can reach hold of the sides of the feet, or maybe you want to hold on to the shins, or wherever's good for you. Okay, we'll just relax the arms, relax the shoulders, allow the elbows to just completely relax. You'll notice the shoulders, because of gravity, will hunch a little bit. As long as we're relaxing, that's fine. Bend the knees. If you've got a pulling sensation on the back of the knees, you're overstretching. Good. Couple more counts. Good, okay. Let's bring the hands down to the ground. And we're going to turn towards the right side. So we're just going to pivot around to the right side. And we're going to come into a little warrior pose, nice strong warrior pose. Today's session is going to be really strong, we're stretching, really stretching and strengthening today. So we're going to come into warrior 1 to start. We're addressing a 1, so we'll bend that right knee, coming up nice and strong, standing up, back legs really nice and straight. If it's too much on the calf, you can lift and come up onto the toes. We want that foot just in slightly at the back. Okay, we can either have the arms at the heart, shoulders relaxed and down. We're going to hold it here, really feeling that deep in the legs, strengthening. Hold it here. For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, close the eyes, 6, 7, notice the toes begin to grip, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Straighten that front leg. Notice when we counter that pose that we need to release the muscles there. Okay, we're going to hold on to opposite elbows behind the body, and we're going to take another little forward fold here. So both legs are nice and straight. Inhale, really bringing the shoulders down away from the ears, pulling the shoulders back. You'll notice a little stretch in the shoulders here as well. Taking that big inhale, and then exhale, folding forwards. Keeping the back nice and long. Leaning forward. If that's too much, you need to bring the feet a bit closer to each other. Feel free. Again, not feeling any pulling on the back of the right knee. We don't want to ever feel that. Our ego wants to. Our body's like, nope. Okay, inhale, come all the way up. Lovely. Okay, we're going to now bring the left, so we're going to stand straight on the right leg, and we're going to come into a little balancing position, holding round just under the left knee. Very simple, very effective strengthening. So we're using the arms here. Okay, flexing through that left foot. We're very active through the foot. Now this time we're going to release the hands, bringing the hands together at the heart, and you'll notice the flexors turn on here, the quads are working a little bit harder. Keep that right leg nice and straight. Good. Hold it here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, lovely. Release the foot. Have a little shake out of the feet. Good. Very strong. Very effective. Okay, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So this time I'm going to come into warrior now on the left side. We're going to take the right foot behind us. Okay, we've got the right foot turned in slightly, and we're bending through that left knee. We've got the hips facing forwards. Making sure that the left knee isn't going past the ankle. We don't want to be here, and we don't want to be here so that we're not working hard enough. So knee directly over the ankle. Good. Okay, arms together. Keep the legs, the back leg nice and straight. And we're going to hold it here for 20, 19, 18, 17, relax the shoulders, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Straighten the legs. Bring the back foot forward a little bit more if you need to. Holding on to the elbows. Make sure that you're flipping it to what you did last time. So holding the other way round. It's always one that's more comfortable. Shoulders pressed down, away from the ears, drawing them back. Chest is open here. This is good for stopping our drooping shoulder effect. Take a big breath in. And then exhale, folding forwards. Both legs nice and straight. Neck nice and long. Not straining to look towards the knee or towards the back foot or anything, because then we begin to get a rounding in the spine. Good. One more breath. Really breathe through this. Okay, coming up nice and straight. And we're going to come into that balancing position again. So this time the left leg's going to be straight, and we'll be bending through the right knee. So getting a little bit of momentum, moving towards the front of the mat, or back of the mat. And holding underneath that right knee, flexing through the right foot, holding here. Good. Staying really nice and strong, feeling really grounded, really squeezing the mat with the toes of the left foot. Engage the core a little bit here, and then notice it becomes a little bit easier. Good, and then when you're ready, releasing the hands, bringing the hands to the heart, holding it here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Gently release. Have a little shake out. Good. Whew. bit challenging this morning, but hopefully in a good way. Okay, so we're going to come yogi squat down to the mat. I'm going to do some floor work now. So coming into our yogi squat, we've got the feet pointed out, just wider than the body, palms together at the heart, and keeping the back nice and long here, squatting down all the way. Squatting down. You can heel toe the feet a little bit closer if you need. Opening out the knees with the elbows. Shoulders again pressing down and trying to lift the breastbone up so that we're trying to get some length in the spine. If you want to, you can take some little half head rolls here. Good. Okay, and gently sitting down onto the mat. Good. Okay. So let's take the legs out in front. We're going to do a little bit of core work. So we're going to start in staff pose first of all. So sitting up nice and tall, we've got a nice straight spine, breastbone is lifted, hands down by the side of the body, feet are flexed. Hold here, engage the core. Hold here. Breathe. Feel a little tricky to breathe here. Okay. Right, so we're going to come into a little boat pose. Another pose I really don't like. So bending the knees. We're going to take the legs, pointing the legs forward. We're going to keep the levers bent here. First of all, you can either have the hands underneath the knees if that's okay for you, or if you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, you can take the arms out in front. Hold it here for 1. Breathe. 2, 3, 4. Keep the breastbone lifted. And 5. Gently release. Let's move into a little butterfly pose before doing that again. So soles of the feet touching. Good. And just bouncing the knees up and down, up and down, up and down. Good. Okay, let's do that again. So keeping the levers bent if you need to. If you want to straighten the legs, feel free. I'm not going to. Do whatever feels good for you. And holding it here. We're going to hold it for 10 this time. 1, 2, 3. Option to hold under the knees if it's too much. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Moving forward into butterfly pose. Bringing the soles of the feet into the body. Sitting up nice and tall. Bouncing the knees up and down, up and down, up and down. Good. Okay, this time, so bringing the knees together, we're going to interlock. We can bring the hands into a little Kali Mudra, which is like a little, I don't want to say a gun, but we'll say Cupid's bow or arrow. Okay, so bringing the knees, lifting the knees and the feet up, taking the arms out in front. We're going to turn to one side and we're going to tap each side. So 1, over the other side, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. If you want to, going for a little extra hold here. And then gently release. Whew. Good. Okay, we're going to take a little forward folding butterfly here. And we're going to allow the back to relax as well and to round. So more of a yin posture. So taking the arms out in front, you can have the palms facing up. Relax the head. Relax the neck. Release the jaw. Relax the shoulders. Good. Okay, lovely. So gently coming up, sitting up. Okay, so bringing the knees together. Got a couple more poses before we move into Shavasana. So let's take the right leg out straight. I'm going to hug that left leg in, taking a hug of it with the left hand. The right hand goes behind, lifting up nice and straight. We're flexing through the right foot. And we're going to take a little twist round to the right. Hand is flat on the ground behind us. Just taking a really gentle twist. Allow the breathing to settle. Good. Then we're going to swap that. So we're going to hug the left leg with the right arm this time. And then we're taking the left arm behind us, gently twisting, looking behind, keeping that right foot flexed. Good. Okay, and then back to center. I've got a little bit of a challenging one now for anyone who wants to join in. Anyone with ankle difficulties, I'd avoid this one at the minute. So what we're going to do is come up onto that left foot. So this is challenging. So just maybe you might want to watch me first before you attempt it. And so what we're going to do is hold on to the right foot and then come into a little balance. So we're just balancing on the one foot here. So feel free to have a little go. If you want to challenge yourself even more, you can take the right arm up. This is something I saw. I thought, oh, I've got to give that a go. So even if you fall, just enjoy it for what it is. Good. It's challenging. It's nice to see everyone having a little go. Breathe through it. Also, you kind of want to hold your breath when you're doing it. So maybe not yet. Nearly. Okay, brilliant. Right, so we're going to do the same thing on the other side, but with the twists first of all. So this time we're going to be bending the right knee, hugging that in nice and tight to the body. So hugging that with the right arm first of all. Left hand can come behind us. Straight arm, keep that left foot nice and flexed. And just looking behind gently, looking towards the back left hand corner of the mat. Again, the heart rate, if you attempted that little balance, is probably working a little bit, so just allow it to soften. Good. Okay, swapping sides, hugging the right knee with the left hand and left arm, and the right arm comes behind. This time looking behind at the back right hand corner of the mat. Good. Okay, back to the center. And again, if you want to attempt it, you might, even if you struggled with this balancing one on the last side, maybe just give it a go on this side, because we always have a better side. Okay, so again, we're hovering onto the right foot, grabbing hold of the left foot. I personally like to keep the left leg bent first of all, and then straighten the leg. This is something you could do with a strap as well, if you can't quite reach, if the hamstrings are not open enough yet. And then if you're here and you want to challenge yourself, you can take the left arm up. Only if you feel comfortable. Okay. Good. It's a challenge, you know, you've got to enjoy, you've just got to take it with a bit of a light heart. If there's anything that you struggle with, you know, it's all a process. Good. Okay, great. So let's lay back now. We're going to just take a couple of little spinal twists before we come into Shavasana. So laying back on the mat, we're going to cross the right leg over the left, arms out to a T shape or cactus arms, whatever feels better for you. Send the hips over to the right first of all, and then drop the knees down to the left, keeping the shoulders firmly on the ground and looking over the right shoulder. If that's too deep for you, then just stacking the knees up on top of each other. Close off the eyes. We're going to take 3 deep breaths here. In through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. Good. Gently bring the head back to center. Bring the knees back up to the middle. Uncross the legs. Just keep the body, just check the body's in a straight line before we swap sides. Crossing the left leg over the right. Send the hips over to the left. Drop the knees down to the right. Looking over the left shoulder. Taking 3 deep breaths here. Close off the eyes. Good. Gently bring the head back to the center, bring the knees back up, uncross the legs. Let's just hug the knees into the chest for a minute, maybe taking a gentle rock side to side. Good. Okay, and we're going to relax out into Shavasana now. So taking the legs out nice and straight. Just tilting the pelvis up slightly, relaxing the lower back. Palms can either be on the tummy, connecting with the tummy, or if you want to, palms facing up on the ground, whatever's more comfortable for you. Closing off the eyes, getting those little wiggles out of the way that you need to. And just settling in here in Shavasana. Just notice your breathing, deepen your breathing. Settling the body down into rest. Notice how you feel, notice any difference to the start of the practice, or maybe another point in this week for you. I'm going to read just a little bit of writing from Rebecca Campbell called Let Me, Let Life Be Life. Let me let life be life, no matter how beautiful. Let me let life be life, no matter how painful. Let me let life be life, no matter how ecstatic. Let me let life be life, no matter how excruciating. Let me let life be life, no matter how much I wanted it. Let me let life be life, no matter how difficult it is to accept. Let me let life be life, no matter how unchanging. And let me let life be life, no matter how unexpected. So just seeing how any of those words resonate with you, maybe not at all today, or maybe they do. Just sitting, laying peacefully. Notice how you feel. Notice any words that are coming to the surface, allowing them to come, greeting them with some compassion, kindness. Notice where your thoughts are, where your energy is. Notice if you can turn off the thoughts, controlling the thoughts, anchoring them back to the present moment. Feeling connection to your practice, to your mat, to your body, to each other. Okay. So we can begin waking up the body, maybe stretching through the arms and legs, moving the body, using your body's innate inbuilt intelligence to just move and wake up in a way that feels good for you. Or maybe you need to stay where you are, which is fine too. And when you're ready, we can gently roll onto one side. And then using the arms and hands to guide you to a seated position. Keeping the eyes closed, or just being here in this moment without anything to do for a minute or so. Just being in your body, in your practice. Savouring these last few moments without the need to rush off and do anything else. Just notice if you've got any tension built anywhere in facial features, the jaw, the forehead, just relaxing that. Maybe around the shoulders. Not fighting anything coming up. Just noticing. I'm going to stack the hands one on top of the other on top of the heart. Maybe just bringing a little stroke of the thumb onto the collarbone area. Just a little bit of connection with our own bodies. Okay, we're going to seal our practice with a big breath in through the nose and a big sigh out through the mouth. Good, bring the palms together, thumbs touching onto the space between the eyes, bowing down to each other. Namaste.